Breaking news coming in this hour. The Indian Air Force has confirmed to headlines today that a C-130J that took off from Gwalior at around 10 a.m. this morning has crashed about 72 miles away from the takeoff site. No details of casualties confirmed as yet, but the plane has in fact crashed. That confirmation coming in from the Indian Air Force. Let's get in a word from our Deputy Editor Shiv Arur, who's joining us for more on this story. Shiv, more details?
A really disturbing development, Simi. This is a C-130J aircraft. It's only 2 to 3 years old. It's part of the 77th Squadron that's based right outside Delhi at the Hindon Air Force Station. Now, the information that we have from the Air Force directly is that this aircraft took off from Agra Air Force Station at about 10 o'clock this morning on a routine airlift mission. It was carrying crew and equipment to Gwalior. And it apparently crashed about 72 kilometers west of Gwalior. A court of inquiry has been ordered. Search and rescue teams are already, looking for the aircraft for possible survivors. But I can tell you that a fixed-wing aircraft going down, the possibility of a great amount of damage can be expected. No clarity yet, Simi, on casualties or the condition of the crew at this time. We're awaiting clarity before we, make any conjecture about that part of it. But this is remember, the C-130J Super Hercules aircraft. Just to put it into perspective for our viewers, is an aircraft that recently participated in hunt for MH370 in the Indian Ocean. One of these aircraft had actually, been deployed to Malaysia. We don't know if it's the same aircraft, but the same type and from the same fleet that was actually deployed. Also, if you remember last year, the C-130J Super Hercules aircraft, acquitted itself, very admirably during the relief operations in Uttarakhand. So those are the two places where this aircraft has been in the news. Also for that high-altitude landing in Daulat Beg Oldi last year, which is the highest ever landing. It's a very capable aircraft. A very capable crew was handling it. The first crew to handle an aircraft of this kind in the Indian subcontinent. So therefore, we're awaiting clarity on what really must have happened. It must have been something catastrophic. We don't know. There could be several factors. It could be weather. It could have been a technical malfunction. Though the latter part, appears to be a little iffy at this point, CB, because, like I said, these are very new aircraft, relatively new. I myself, attended the induction ceremony just a few kilometers outside Delhi 2 to 3 years ago at the Hindon Air Force Station. So these aircraft, relatively speaking, are very new. They've got advanced, safety and communication systems on board. So at this point of time, a court of inquiry will be going into precisely what may have caused this absolutely devastating hit on the Air Force.
Absolutely a devastating hit on the Air Force. Shiv, also tell us generally how many people are on board such an aircraft when it's doing such sorties.
That's a good question, CB. It could actually be anything because, these are very flexible aircraft. They've got large cabin spaces to carry equipment or crew. So we don't have any clarity on how many people were on this particular flight. But I can tell you that the C-130J is capable of carrying, just the two pilots and a load master, which is, a crew of 3 and nothing else on board except equipment. Or it can also carry, a full complement of the pilot, the load master, and 70 to 80, armed combatants. So that could be at least 100 people on board. But as I said, it could be anywhere between 3 and 100, which makes it very difficult to guess how many people there are on board. We're waiting to get a statement from the Indian Air Force, about the number of people who were on board, what kind of mission it was on, and also any prima facie information on what may have caused this accident, because like I said, Simi, it has happened in the wilderness about 72 kilometers west of Gwalior. I remember Gwalior has one of the Indian Air Force's largest Air Force stations, so it's well equipped, to deploy helicopters and aircraft to actually reach the site of this accident as quickly as possible. I dare say they've already probably reached that place. 72 kilometers is not a long distance in terms of flying time. So in the next 5 to 6 minutes, we will be getting an update, Simi.
All right, we're expecting more details. Shiv, stay on with us. Let's also go across to Wing Commander retired Praful Bakshi, who's with us on the phone line. Wing Commander Bakshi, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. Your first reaction, a major blow for the Indian Air Force.
Not only it's a blow to the Indian Air Force, it will be a blow to the military aviation, because C-130 is perhaps the safest aircraft. Its accident history is absolutely nil, and it is very, very rare, rarest of the rare, when you hear about the C-130 Hercules crashing on a fine day like this, not bad weather, etc. There was no demanding thing. It was about 70 kilometers from Gwalior. I'm not sure what exercise was being done. That will have to be found out. But why it has crashed, could be various reasons. Very serious inquiry is required. And let me tell you one thing, I do not rule out sabotage.
All right. Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. A major blow, in fact, a devastating blow for the Indian Air Force. Our Deputy Editor Shiv Arur also getting us latest updates on the story. We're also going to try and find out whether or not this aircraft actually landed in a deserted spot or on a populated area. We'll continue tracking developments. A short break here. Lots more lined up. Do stay with us.